Yeah, fucking hate it. It is so fucking manipulative. The other one I fucking hate. That I fucking hate. It's fucking boring.
Yeah.
Well, hello, Tansy, and welcome to Blunt and the Beautiful.
Hello, Miss Thing. How are we?
I'm great, but we're going to talk about influencers today, and I've got a lot to say, and I'll probably have a lot of unfollows after this, but that's
I
fine.
wish you would, girlie. Let's get into it.
So let's talk about I want to start with talking about what a true influencer is and then how it's turned into this commodified fucking turkey teeth.
I thought you were going to say turducken. Sorry.
Turducken teeth.
Yeah, hat on a hat of fuckery.
High vis. Everyone's got a skincare line. Everyone's got a fucking pajama line.
Yeah.
Like, can't you just be? Why do you have to monetize everything?
Well, I think step one, I always think about, I think it was like 2019, Flex Mommy put up a post because someone was like, you've got the easiest job in the world. And she said, okay, first things first, check yourself and think, in your real life, do you have any influence over the people around you? Do people ask you where your shit's from, what movies you like, what the best fucking restaurant is, whatever it is?
Okay.
Do you have taste? Do you have influence? And if you have those things, yeah, let's springboard that bad boy, but maybe not into the pajama game.
Well, you know, someone said to me pajamas are really easy to make. So, you know, I have been influenced before by things. Particularly during COVID, I was influenced by kitchen gadgets. But
you were indeed.
Hey, there was a lot going on. But my struggle is with influencers is the inauthenticity and the overconsumption. So there's been a whole thing going on for about a month on one of the social media channels, TikTok, saying that New York influencers are boring.
Yeah.
And that's because they're all dressing the same.
And they all sound the same. You
were saying they've got
if I did a tight five for SNL, I'm starting with, go right with me to go to the New York Times 100 best restaurants. Go right with me to spend money as a fashion student.
Right, okay.
It's the graduation from the Kardashian vocal fry into this fucking Squidward-ass nose voice that drives me fucking mad.
Is that because they've all had nose jobs?
I don't know. It's like they're never going to beat the boring allegations with such tomfoolery. It's like everyone thinking Australian influencers all sound like Anna Paul. Do you know what? Like it's everyone develops the same cadence. And then it becomes this. Well,
that kind of inauthenticity is interesting because no one who is a New York influencer was raised in New York.
No.
They've all moved out.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Sydney is a really transient city.
Yes.
So you see Sydney influencers and I go, well, were you born and raised in Sydney? Because it's a very different.
Play Wendy Williams singing Native New Yorker on the Masked Singer, girlie. Yeah.
So someone said on this post, influencers are only good at consuming.
Yeah.
And then there's the world of trying to keep up the fake bags, the fake teeth, the fake hair, the fake everything, you know. And I know that you can do what you want. It's your body, but it's really hard to, for example, you know, influencers pushing their weight loss, but they're on a GLP-1 medication.
And like, do that. If you want to do that. Be honest. Don't pretend that my Pilates princess core is what's doing that.
So when TikTok was nearly banned in America, there was a whole lot of them telling truths.
This is my Super Bowl. This was the funniest shit I've ever seen. I don't know why there was actual deathbed confessions. Like, what are you talking about? Girls being like, oh, there's one influencer that I was obsessed with and her whole thing was that she had this billionaire boyfriend, right? And he bought her all this shit and did all this stuff with her and took her on private jets and blah, blah, blah. 2 hours before TikTok goes down in the States, she goes, oh, I have to tell you, with that. Firstly, let's talk about the Family Guy sound that was the underscore to these confessions. And she was like, he doesn't exist. I lied about all of it. I've lied the entire time. There is no man. I didn't not show you him for his privacy. He's really private because he doesn't fucking exist.
Oh, that's fascinating.
I loved it. I was like, okay, performance art.
So
huge.
I wonder with some of Australian influencers who get told a lot that their husband, they don't want their husbands to get married. Maybe they're single moms.
That's what I keep saying about you on Reddit, and no one's listening. He's
Someone
not
said
real.
He's not real. No,
it was me. No,
but there were people saying I didn't wear that dress.
I didn't wear I didn't eat any of the fucking meals or recipes I told you were yum. They were not. Like, all of this was the other one. Okay, so there was this American girl who her whole shtick is that she's a stay-at-home daughter. Very me-coded. And she put she's just my life as a stay-at-home daughter, me rolling up to Van Cleef, me rolling up to fucking buy my new bag, whatever. She's not a stay-at-home daughter. She works in corporate. She's had a job the entire time, but she knows that what people want is aspirational. They don't want to see her work hard for her money necessarily. They want to doom scroll and be like, whoa, imagine if my life is the little princess.
Do you think, though, that influencers post the 27-hour ban or whatever it was?
Try 12.
Okay, 12-hour ban. And, that was weird for me because I was watching it from a distance going, there's no way that they're going to pull this app down from America. They'll do something. Like, I knew that it would be back. I was like, what are you doing, ladies and gentlemen? But do you think that it's changed influencers? I mean, there's no such thing as real cancel culture.
No, I think it was a near-death experience and they came back more annoying than ever, I think is kind of the vibe. Like, when I went to therapy about PTSD, mortal fear changes a person.
You'd need EMDR for your influencers.
Fucking this way, this way, this way, this way. Yeah, it's crazy.
Follow the Van Cleef. Fucking follow
I'm trying. No one will let me.
So I want to talk to you about rich influencers.
Rich people who rich right?
Yeah, fucking hate it.
Could not actually fundamentally disagree more with you.
It is so déclassé.
I would rather watch 1,000 luxury hauls than a single fucking what I got for sale haul. I love them. I love them, bro. I get into it. Show me every color of that fucking Prada Clio bag you own.
Wow. How do you then look at, say, the struggle street and the budget and how people can't pay mortgages and all of that? How can you go, oh, that's cool?
Because just because someone has more money than me doesn't mean they're better than me. I don't conflate worth like that.
See, that's your generation versus my generation.
I'm so smart. No.
Yeah, a family member who I won't say, who always, you say, oh, so-and-so's a dick, and he goes, oh, but he's very rich. Like, it's a personality.
Yeah, see, that's not a marker of wealth for me. Like not a marker of wealth, sure, in terms of like fucking how many beans, but not a marker of...
You know who was rich? Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
Not a good person.
Yeah,
it's not bestie, a personality
it doesn't mean you're a good person. and it doesn't mean that you know more than me or you're better than me.
But the wealth signifiers that I struggle with, it's all the same. Like the thing I was saying, I did a little post a little while ago saying just because you think you're a fashion influencer and you're all wearing the same Cartier Love bracelet, you're all wearing the same Van Cleef. Sophia Richie, who was a style icon, I never got that, is now no longer a style icon because it's fucking boring.
Yeah.
That to me is like, well, that it just means that you all bought a Van Cleef necklace. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have style and influence.
No, it doesn't at all. And I'll go on the record. I'll be honest. I don't think they're very pretty, the Van Cleef. I'm not really my shtick. I mean, fucking look at me in my Sue Sylvester track top. Do you think I like Van Cleef? Like, whatever.
You've got your bike chain around your neck.
Yeah, that's how Tan sees it, mate. But I also am like, if it's your money, you can do what you like with that. And if you want to put out a video, it's up to the consumer of the video if they want to watch it or scroll on. It doesn't hurt your feelings that someone put up a Van Cleef haul, but it does tickle my fancy. So this is the thing. Like, I don't think that it's, an act of war to put up a luxury haul.
No, but it's just, look, you and I will disagree. And I think I would prefer to hang, if someone's wealthy, I don't want them to shove it in my face.
Yes,
happy for you, but I don't need to see you virtue signalling with your Cartier Love bracelet.
Well, see, I think that this is a different perspective on it because it doesn't look to me like they're shoving it in my face. That's their reality. And if their reality is the fucking got the PJ to Singapore, brother, like rock and roll.
So let's talk about them when influencers, maybe they start out, babies, and then they start to grow and grow and grow, and then suddenly they're on private trips and they're going on cosmetic trips to, wherever, and then people go, you've changed.
This is very interesting.
Yeah.
I read an article in the New York Times the other day, smart, about the biggest thing that changes like the biggest issue in any interpersonal relationship, whether it be parasocial or romantic, friendship, whatever, is change that the other doesn't anticipate.
Oh, okay.
And so that breeds contempt the quickest. Right. And I found it very interesting that, when you change without warning someone that you're going to, which how are you meant to do that? But whatever, that breeds contempt because it feels like betrayal.
Right.
And I think about that in the context of these influencers. If you keep following someone and keep following someone and they grow and grow and grow and grow, they will have access to crazier and crazier spaces, right?
Yeah.
As their infamy, their wealth and their like reputation grows.
Yeah.
You can't then resent them when you clicked follow. It feels very odd to me.
Yeah, you gave them that opportunity.
Yeah, it's like you're like, oh, hey, it's the delayed gratification test for kids where you give them a marshmallow and leave the room, and then the 2-year-old eats the marshmallow and you're like, how very dare you?
Yeah.
Like,
so you want them to have 3 million followers but still to be on Struggle Street or whatever it is.
Absolutely. And this is the thing that I don't resent is that, if someone gets 3 million followers and they have all the money they could possibly need and the house that they want and love and all of these things, and so their life is a lot easier now, and they show their everyday life and people go, how dare your life not be difficult anymore?
Well, that's interesting. I mean, let's talk about another thing that I hate that influencers do is cry on camera. And I have done a cry, but that was about my kid in hospital, so I'm going to forgive myself.
Fair play.
But I didn't go and set the tripod up and then get back into bed and then go, like, sorry.
No, I have no issue with when someone starts a video and then it devolves into a tear space. That's fine. The one that made me piss was that Australian men's mental health influencer who edited the shit out of his podcast and had all the clips of him just crying.
He blocked me.
Good on you, Queen.
I've never had a moment.
His lives
with
keep
him.
coming up on my TikTok and finding it very scary.
Oh,
I'm not
scary.
liking it.
And Boys Who Cry, I think there was Sam Taylor Wood did a whole thing, or Tracy Emin did a whole photography.
I'm pro boys crying.
Yeah. But I get it. But the other one is women, or sorry, I shouldn't say women, people crying because their businesses they're not selling.
I find that one very difficult. One very difficult.
It is so fucking manipulative.
And it's really hard to have a startup and a business. And that's actually, you knew that.
Yeah.
You did actually know that if you Googled it. So I find it difficult to be like, it's not selling, help her. And I'm like, well, I don't want to fucking grudge purchase.
Yeah, it is a grudge purchase, isn't it? I'm like, you no one owes you anything.
Well, this is the thing with influencers, and I think parasocial relationships in general is audiences. Okay, influencers, from my perspective, the world according to Tans is influencers owe people decency and respect.
Yep.
When they see a person in person, be nice.
Yeah.
Don't be a prick. Live, laugh, love.
Yep. And not scream, which is what I do.
Well, she goes,
every time someone comes up and says hello to me, I go, it's so bad.
You do that to me in the kitchen, though.
I do it at the toaster.
You do it, yeah.
I did it to a lady in Aldi on Sunday.
As you touched spring onions.
As I was holding my spring onion, she went, excuse me, are you? And I went, it's so fucking bad. No, you do owe people pleasantries.
But you also owe that to everyone, even if you're not an influencer.
True.
It's just like decency and respect.
So what about the copy-paste captions that I see? Yeah, and there was a girl this week who said that she fucking hated a particular, I don't know, primer or something, but a week before she'd done a sponsored video about how much she loved it.
It's so funny. I saw this and I saw people commenting being like, I'm very confused. I always follow your recs. I bought this primer because you like it.
God.
And now you're putting it in your like, do my makeup with the shittest products I have or whatever it was, some fucking challenge. And yeah, you've got your little tacky primer and you're going, oh no, I hate it now.
Well, yeah, I hate that. The other one I fucking hate Dry begging.
Panhandlers.
They've got a fucking monkey and an organ grinder.
This is
Oh no, I'm pregnant and I need a pram. However, will I get the pram? Any pram recommendations? Tag the brand.
It's a bit fucking feed the birds tuppence a bag, isn't it?
It's like you're dry begging. It's like that one who's been charged and allegedly hurting her daughter. Oh no, if only I had a coffee machine.
I'm going to start doing that. Oh no, if only I got all my makeup free at Mecca. Oh no. Which one's my camera? Oh no.
That I fucking hate.
It's really hard. There's a quite famous YouTuber who I actually will name by name because fuck him, Jason Nash, who was like a
I don't know who that is.
David Dobrik, Trisha Paytas. He used to
Okay.
date Trisha Paytas for a really
Okay,
long time.
okay.
Perick. But he goes on TikTok lives and all of his followers are children. And he's like, send a rose, send a cowboy hat, get in there, send a rose.
Do you know how many roses you have to do? I've made like 11 cents.
One of my friends when
living the dream.
you know, when we do lives and my friend who thinks it's really funny to send us what are they called? Fucking, I don't know, dog treats.
Yeah.
But it's always like a cowboy hat and a astronaut
I know,
helmet.
and I know they can't afford
No,
it.
and every time I'm like, stop fucking A, I look like an idiot. And
Yeah.
B, what are you spending money on us just to make yourself laugh?
I've seen an influencer in the last week who she's American and she's really problematic and she's lost custody of her kids and she's lied about having cancer and it's
Good
just a
grief.
fucking casserole of nonsense.
Day of my life to
Yeah, get rid of me to be a
Fuck.
total wanker. Anyway, and I was reading the comments because that's always where the good shit is.
Absolutely.
And people are like, why are you on this app?
Absolutely.
Why are you here? Like, you're not
Absolutely.
influencing anything. You're actually just making the trauma for your children worse, blah, blah, blah.
Girl, tidy your home before you invite people inside. Clean your shit up.
I know. Like, that to me is a fucking massive one. The other thing that I really hate, look, I'm pointing my fucking pen. I'm
Put
so
your witchy
passionate
poo
about
little
it.
finger out, don't
I
you?
have. I am really so sick of the pretend money.
Yeah.
Monopoly money influencers.
Firstly, name of my next EP.
Yeah,
Monopoly money influencers. So true. No,
Yeah.
that's fair. But I guess it comes down to the thing of like, if you're happy to believe that social media isn't real, right, which is what we're
Yeah.
told to remember all the time, then what's wrong with the performance of wealth?
Well, a lot of people do think it's real though. And then someone goes, oh, actually, I've just filed for bankruptcy and everyone gets really fucking mad at them, you know?
Absolutely.
And if you think about the whole concept of, you know, the lies and shit that people are telling, what they're wearing, where their teeth are from, you know, whatever it is, the lack of decency around exposing what's a paid product.
Well, that's actually
sponsorship or
illegal
not.
is the issue with
But
that.
it's not policed on some of the apps.
Absolutely. But it is illegal.
If you see a paid sponsorship from an influencer, do you flick?
No,
I'll
watch it.
always do.
because this is my thing. I don't resent people for getting their bag. I don't care. And also,
No, I get it. I get it.
can I, to begin? No.
Yeah, TED
So
Talk.
I started watching YouTube when I was maybe 13, right?
Yeah.
Juicy Star 07 type shit. Get ready with me for year 9. Like, I don't know. And I loved it. I just adored
Who
it.
was the makeup girl you loved?
Megan Parkin or something.
No, there was an Asian girl.
Oh, Michelle Phan.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
But because I loved how the content was free.
Yeah.
Growing up and kind of consuming more and more of this online content and it being free, 95% of it not being behind paywalls, right?
Right.
If you exclude Patreon or Substack or whatever.
Yeah.
That to me feels like I'm getting so much for so little
Yeah.
that
okay.
when what is required of them to continue allowing me to access this free content is, here's my favorite L'Oreal blah, 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 blah. Of course,
Yeah.
I'll watch it. This is the same reason where when I listen to podcasts, I don't skip ads. I'll listen to them because I understand that, but within the transaction of me getting this content, I have to look at the marketing.
You're a good citizen, aren't you?
Well, I'm very annoying though because I'm very rules of order. But I don't like skipping ads on YouTube. I don't like skipping ads on TikTok. Like I'll watch them because that's my part of the bargain. Nothing's free.
I think that there's an issue with influencers at the moment that the behaviour is becoming more and more heightened because the pressure and the competition is so big.
Absolutely.
So I saw an Australian influencer who was formerly on Big Brother who has, 200,000 plus followers saying that she's gone and got a job because the competitive nature of influencers who are prepared to do more for less means that the 10K a post thing isn't happening. Maybe it's 5K. And then you've got to wait 30, 90 days to get paid.
And that's also cost of living shit, right? Like,
you want that regular money coming in. I mean, I also read the New York Times and there was an article on that about people leaving the space to get jobs because of that certainty and needing money. And particularly if you change, that thing about you're not allowed to change. There was a girl who had done a whole wellness. I think her whole thing was, smoothies with Mia or some shit.
Gibson.
Yeah. Smoothies.
The whole pantry.
Yeah, it was Belle Gibson. Yeah. No, it wasn't. It was it was some fucking smoothie thing and she was a vegan and all of that. And then she got diagnosed with some iron thing and she's like, I better eat some fish and chicken. And then people were like, how dare you?
This is the same thing though. They're like, oh, it's like when someone posts a recipe and they're like, here's baked beans on toast and someone goes, what do I do if I don't like beans? And you go, eat something else? I don't know. Like,
I mean, the influencers that I love and are the people that, but this is what I think my influences reflect my values.
Yeah.
It's people who either make me feel really cozy. I love a fucking cozy account.
Absolutely, you do, sweet.
I love anything dog related.
Yep.
I also love people being real.
Yep.
And I'm not talking about being sad sacks, but people who make me think. And for me, like one of my favourite accounts in the whole world is a Black disabled creator called Crutches and Spice. It's Amani. She's very educated. She's got a couple of masters and she talks about disability and colour and American politics and she's quite prescient in terms of what she can predict. She predicted lots and lots of stuff around Trump. People didn't want to hear about it. I love her. She's also funny.
Yeah,
she also takes you to her sewing lesson because she's a plus size and trying to learn how to make clothes. That to me is a real insight into her life.
Yeah, beautiful.
There are other people that I watch who maybe have young kids and stuff that I go, well, one, I don't want to see your kids. And secondly, I'm not of that world anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, what do you think makes a great influencer?
Who are the influencers I watch all the time? It's a TikToker called Neo It Girl who is a New York fashion beauty. She's a trans girl. She's so fucking sexy, so cool, so good. And we'll do like crazy, like here's an entire waterproof makeup look because I'm about to go get dick down. So, and I will sit there being like, my word, that eyeshadow. And then she'll check back in at the end with her face and be like, here's what I look like after.
Wow.
And I said, you better work, girl.
Wow.
I love her. She also has the best makeup tips I've ever seen in my entire life. So she's good at what she knows her shit. I'll give her that.
There's a real confidence to have that also.
I love it.
I really love accounts that lift other people, like people who...
Bit hopecore.
Well, not even hopecore, just fucking a rising tide lifts all boats,
Absolutely.
mate. The competitiveness on these apps is massive, Engage like a real human.
Yeah. I love Hello Teffy.
Oh, yeah,
I love
fun,
Teffy. I love her social media deep dives. I also love just everything she does. I mean, very basic bitch of me to be like, I love Caleb Heron and Drew Waflo, Brittany Broski and Teffy. But I do. They are my four horsemen of the apocalypse.
Right.
They are the social media loves of my life.
Any people of colour?
Teffy and Drew.
No, any other people that you like, Black Americans?
Well, yeah.
No, I'm just saying that. The reason I say that is that I gave a shout out to a couple of Black fashion girls last week that I like. Someone asked me who are my favourite fashion girls and one of them messaged me and said, you're the first white person to ever call out my account. And I went, that's fucked and I'm really sorry about that.
Gloria, who does the makeup reviews.
Oh,
She's got
yeah.
a huge account, but she talks about shade ranges a lot of the time. But also
wow.
is like, hey, if you make blushes and they don't work on black people, you didn't make a good blush. Like YSL made this. Sorry, YSL, you're on blast. No,
Yeah.
YSL made this blush, and it just looked ashy as shit on anyone who wasn't actually Snow White. Like, it was
Oh,
crazy,
right.
and it's just not good formulation. So I like a lot of things like that. I'm more of a beauty girl though. Like, I'm in the beauty or the hee hee ha ha space.
Yeah, look, I love fashion,
Mm.
so I watch a lot of that, and I do try and shine a light out on brands that aren't necessarily what I call Westfield brands, which I love Westfield.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you can try a smaller store, you can try something that's maybe not in every, I don't know, Myer or something like that. I think it's hard though, because you want to maintain your independence as a consumer, but then you're getting paid this enormous amounts of money.
Oh, absolutely.
Did
you see the an influencer in America got a brand deal recently, and in her LTK tried to link to her collection and accidentally linked the brand deal memo with the rate, with the deliverables.
How much was it?
$45K.
Fuck,
USD.
that's American money
Yeah.
though. That's big money.
Oh,
over
she's a
there.
massive, massive creator who did a massive oopsie daisy, and I loved it.
I think the one of the things that I would advise to people who want to be influencers is protect your peace.
Absolutely.
And set really strong boundaries. Because people want stuff from you all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not even an influencer, and I get it. I had maybe 7
Would you
emails
consider
from
yourself
people
a content creator more than an influencer?
Yeah.
Because I would say you have influence though.
I do, but I don't get paid for it.
Well, not yet. Fingers and toes, ladies. But yeah.
Seriously, when is Aldi going to sponsor me, man?
When's Aldi going to open in Tasmania? They've got things on, mate.
I know, man. I fucking
you
blow
next.
smoke up Aldi and they don't hear. No, but it is but I love it. Someone said to me the other day, I've started shopping at Aldi now because of you. And I'm like, fucking A, enjoy those savings, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Enjoy those savings. My whole thing is constantly, you don't have to pay that.
Yeah.
Remember when I did that post about what I was wearing and someone said, you're wearing $2,000 worth of clothes? And I went, if you think I paid $2,000 for these, you are a space cadet.
But also, this is my thing, back to what we were talking about before. So fucking what? They're my clothes.
Yeah,
pay
but I
what
would
you
never
want
do
for your
that.
clothes.
I'm just a
But that's your
savvy
morals.
shopper.
Those are your morals and your ethics. But if you wanted to pay that much for clothes, live, laugh, fucking love.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But it was like, you're wearing $2,000.
This is the thing. Judgy Wudgy was a commenter. Shush. I don't understand it. It's like you bought that great jumper at the op shop last week, the Comme des Garçons Supreme jumper.
Thank you.
And I saw you put up an outfit of the day, and I saw people being like, "Oh, where'd you get that jumper?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "What do you want from me?"
Salvo's $15.
Yeah,
step up, people.
Exactly. Have a rifle, lovey.
Yeah,
have a mooch and a rifle, sweets.
Yeah, have a scrounge, as my friend says.
Absolutely.
I think that for me yesterday, I got a fucking butt ton of people saying, I've got a story and I've got this and I want you to do this and blah, blah.
TikTok's Tracy Grimshaw.
Yeah, I know, fuck. And I messaged you and I sent you a few screenshots. I said, I don't want to do any of this. And you went, you don't have to.
You don't have to do shit, man.
I went, okay, good. I don't have to.
You can just put up videos with Pixie and Niles on your lap for the next 4 months if you want. It's yours.
The thing about influencing too is that I don't have a niche as a content creator. It's whatever tickles my fancy. But you need to let your brand evolve.
Yeah.
I personally say to people all the time, I had a girl message me and say she had 200 followers and said, I'm stuck in this and I can't do it. And I really like her as a person. And I said, I'll give you my tips for free.
Yeah.
Not that I make people pay for them, but I wanted her to know
making
that.
me pay for years for tips.
And I said, this is what you should do. You either educate, you either entertain, or you actually investigate something.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So if you're going to do education, do your makeup, do your something. If you're going to do entertainment, be your Caleb and, whatever. If you're going to, I don't know, investigate something, there are lots of great people who will go and do those deep dives.
Yeah.
But I said you have to give them something in return. And the minute she did that, her account just started growing because people went, oh, you're going to give me a tip. You're going to make me laugh. You're going to fucking make me think about shit, whatever it is.
I don't underestimate what a shitty spot it is. I mean, it is first world problems, right? To be like, God, tricky to be an influencer. But to be in a space where you have to evolve or die, but people will resent change. So it feels like everything has to be, grate the vegetables to hide them in the meat sauce. I've got to slowly shift things without them realising.
But you saw last week when I did that post where people had 49 comments on a post about another influencer about what I could and can't do better with my content. Like the funniest suggestion box ever. And one of them was,
fuckery.
I used to like Kate's fashion commentary until it got political.
And that's really interesting to me because we could actually have a little bit of a Google's free moment, I reckon, and see that fashion is always political.
But I was like, and I put it on Instagram because I thought it was funny. And my friend who is an actor's agent read it and messaged me and goes, these people are fucking wild that they're commenting on that. And I said, but that's it. You put yourself out there. But I'm constantly reminding people I'm not an influencer.
Yeah.
I feel bad for, I read some of the comments on some of the hardcore influencer posts and go, fuck, how do you get out of bed?
Absolutely.
I hope you don't read them. People go, don't read the comments. You're going to read the comments.
Absolutely.
You're going to read the comments. It is human nature. If you hear someone talking about you in another room, you're going to listen.
Yeah. But you also have to, this is the thing. I mean, you and I I've been banging this drum for a minute now. The shit people say about you online, they don't know you.
No, they don't.
They don't know you from a bar of I don't even know what, mate.
No, I don't even care. I mean, I used to try and convince people otherwise. Now I don't give a shit.
But she's got a social justice mind.
Yeah,
it feels unfair and she doesn't like it.
I want to talk about manufacturing drama.